we'll start with?
Gareth, hello. Presence of Jordan Henderson alongside you there, should we read anything into that? Does that suggest he's captain?
No. We're just sharing the media duties out. I think it's important that I've spoken before, sharing the responsibility among the group of players. We did the same for the last two matches. Neither player that did the press conferences was captain. So I think that's an important part of what we're trying to do, really.
So is Wayne Rooney captain tomorrow?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Okay. Was that an easy decision, given that he's scoring again and that he's played so well against Scotland before?
Yeah, I think he's in a better place than he was for the last get-together in terms of his sharpness, his confidence, and I think he's really an experienced player for a game like this. So yeah, there was no hesitation from my point of view to be playing him.
He's played in both the previous England-Scotland games, and he did score twice in Glasgow, didn't he? So clearly he gets these British derbies. Yeah,
but also he's playing well. He's played well the last couple of matches for Manchester United. I think he's a player that when he's in a rhythm of playing, that helps. So he's confident, and I think experience in a game like this is of importance with a team that has a lot of energy and a lot of potential, but also you need some experienced players around that.
With just under 36 hours to go to the game, do you have any fitness issues at all?
No, everybody will train today, so that's been pleasing. We had one or two question marks earlier in the week, but we've managed everybody through that, and we've got a full squad to pick from as I sit here now.
So, Harry Kane theoretically would be fit enough to start again, having played his first game in 7 weeks last Sunday?
Yeah, and these are difficult decisions for me to make because we've got strength in depth, we've got competition for places, which is very important, and we've got some good players. So that's a great position for me to be in.
Well, that's right, because you've got Raheem Sterling, Adam Lallana available again, and Jesse Lingard did well for you in the last two games. So the names come rolling off the tongue, and we haven't even mentioned Jack Wilshere.
Yeah, it's one of the privileges of the job. I think I've really enjoyed working. The opportunity is to work with the best players in the country, to work with top professionals, and also with these lads. They're so open to new ideas. They're willing to have a go at things that we're trying to put in place. So I think for any coach that's great, and then to be leading them into a game like tomorrow's is very, very special.
Can we get any more clues about the starting lineup? Does Jack start, for instance?
No more clues, Nick. We're giving enough away already.
What about Jordan, sat next to you there? Is he starting?
Yeah. Well, it would be a bit harsh to make him sit here if he wasn't, really. Although I've seen it done before. So
you told us at the start of the week that you really wanted to make the players aware of the importance and the history and the tradition of this fixture. Do you feel that you've got that message across to them?
Yeah, I think most of them have played in the fixture before. I think it's nice for them to remember that they're part of the history. That some famous players before have worn the shirt that they're going to be wearing, but they rightly hold that position now. And that every time you play for England in a fixture like this, you have an opportunity to make a bit of history, to be involved in a game that people might remember for years to come. So I think that's exciting. I think that's why you're in the game. You want to be involved in nights like this, and we want to get the balance between talking about what the fixture means, but also we're preparing at the right level. That emotionally we're at the right level for the game. We're ready for whatever comes our way, but performance-wise, we've got to be really focused and calm. And I think that's a balance that we aim to find.
For the fans, it's must win. For the players, is it dare not lose?
Well, I never like the mindset of trying to avoid something. I think you've got to be positive. We want to be top of the group on 10 points at the end of the night, and that's our only focus of attention.
Regardless of the fact that it's England-Scotland, this would be a pivotal fixture anyway, given the state of the group and given the fact you don't play again until the end of March.
Yeah, and that's. I think each team plays once in this cycle of games, so with the opportunity to be at least 3 points ahead of everybody else going into that period. So again, that's our focus. That's our overall aim. What are the bits we can control are our attitude, our application, our attention to detail. I think the players are in a really good place. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the game.
Thanks, Gareth. Jordan, just sort of put it into context, if you would, the importance of this game in relation to the group, in relation to the fact it's your big rivals, and in relation to the fact that it could help secure Gareth the England job permanently.
Yeah, well, obviously it is a massive game. England, Scotland. If you look at the history, the fixture, it is huge. It isn't just a normal fixture. We actually watched a video of a lot of the past games, a lot before my time, but there was a few that I could remember, especially the one where Gaza scored the brilliant goal in, I think, Euro '96. That was a real big moment, not only in England, Scotland, but in England in general. Really, that's one goal that really stands out for me. So the lads know the importance of this game, not only because it's England, Scotland, but because we want to qualify for Russia as best we can, and this will put us in a good position if we can win the game.
Have you spoken to Wayne at all about this match, given that he played in both the games in 2013 and 14?
Wayne will speak to a lot of the players with his experience. Again, like I say, not only for this game, but for a lot of the games, Wayne uses his experience for the players very well, especially the younger lads that may not have experienced as many games or as big a game as this is. So yeah, he's a big part in trying to get the victory.
Players like stability, so is there an extra motivation in knowing that if you could win, it certainly wouldn't do Gareth's chances of getting the job permanently, any harm?
Yeah, I think the manager's done brilliantly since being given the opportunity, and the players are very supportive of him. We feel as though we're going in the right direction on the training pitch. We've learnt a lot, and we're trying to put them ideas into a game situation. So hopefully we can just put that into practice at the week, what we've been practicing into the game at the weekend, and hopefully, like I say, the performances at a high level, and if that's the case, then I'm sure we'll get the 3 points.
And just lastly from me, as players, are you happy that you are at least able to wear a poppy on the black armband, if not the shirt itself, so that you can honour Armistice Day tomorrow? Yeah,
I think that's very important for the country, for the players, to remember what them people have done for this country and sacrificed, and I think that's really important for this fixture as well.
Gareth, I'm sure you've seen Terry Butcher says that your squad play like they've got their headphones on, that they're crippled by a fear of failure, and he said it's like purgatory watching them at times. Do you recognise any of that about your squad?
Well, I think the comments were from a few weeks ago, because Terry was with us in the week. We got him to present Gary Cahill with his memento for his 50th cap, and I thought that was a very important moment. I think they're things that the legacy of being an England player should be passed down. We want to make those former players feel part of what we're doing. So, of course, I'm sure there's been matches down the years and in the recent past that have been agonising for everybody to watch, because everybody wants England to do well. But this is a young team, a vibrant team, and a team that is only going to get better. And I think the work we're trying to do, I think we'll be better than we were in our last two matches. I'm confident of that. We've had more time to work together. What comes from outside can't really affect us too much.
He spoke about a lack of leadership compared to teams in the past that he and you were in. A major tournament, certainly. He's always been seen as a leader of the teams that he was playing in for his country. Is that fair, do you think? Does there need to be more leadership in the squad that you're currently challenging?
Well, without doubt, Terry was an outstanding leader, and I think what we have are already some very good leaders and a lot more potential leaders, and I think we've got to help that to come out and develop. That's one of the reasons we're spreading more of the responsibility among the group of players, because until people are given opportunity and until people are given responsibility, then how do they show they can lead? Jordan's a classic example. He's taken over from an iconic figure at Liverpool and has taken that responsibility on brilliantly. So they're big shoes to fill, and he's carried that duty out fantastically well. So there's an example of a top leader and one who's going to get better sat right next to me.
It seems pretty clear that barring a calamity against Scotland, the job's yours if you want it. You'd be forgiven therefore for feeling some pressure, are you?
No. I'm really enjoying being in the role. For me, what happens to me is not important. We've got to win this game. We want to win this game for the country, and we want to win this game because we want to be top of the group and heading to Russia. That's the task I was given. I said earlier in the week, what happens to me is important to my family, but other than that, it's not the reason and the purpose for the game. I want the players to go out and enjoy their football, to play well, and I'm sure they will.
And is the reason you're refusing to say you want the job, which some would expect you to say, it's a great job, so somehow will surprise people, because you don't want the focus to detract from the team and the match, or is it genuinely because you have doubts?
100% that the focus is on the match.
So you do want the job, you're not prepared.
Very clever, Dan. 100% my focus is on the match, and I think it would be irresponsible and unprofessional for it to be any other way. I was tasked with leading this team for 4 games. I'm enjoying that responsibility. I'm enjoying working with a group of players, and the focus is on winning the game tomorrow night. Simple as that.
Gareth, because of that, do you feel that in a way you're having a very public audition, and if that is the case, does that inhibit you in any way, or has it inhibited you?
I don't feel that way. I feel very comfortable with what we're doing. I think it's a brilliant experience. Whatever happens in 2-3 weeks' time, whatever happens in the future, it's a fantastic experience for me. To lead your country for however many periods of games is a great honour. I feel as if we're preparing the team well. I feel that every situation that we're put in, we're responding to. So that's as I'm viewing it, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of tomorrow night.
But the fact that it's a short-term opportunity at the moment hasn't made you more conservative?
No, I don't think so. I think you could argue it's perhaps the other way. But I guess one of the great challenges for any manager and coach is to be the same when you're given the opportunity at the start as you might be further down the line. So the same for players. Can you have that same innocence and enthusiasm when you start playing, that when you know a bit more about the game, that you play with that same freedom and that same confidence. For me, as I say, I'm really enjoying the experience, and my key is to prepare these guys in the best possible way.
And you said a little bit earlier that they've all been open to new ideas. How have you tried to change things since you came in this short term?
I'm not so sure it's a case of changing things. It's building on what's been done before. This was a team that have lost one of their last 16 matches. So there's a lot of good things going on. Clearly, I would have slightly different views to Roy, slightly different views to Sam on how we want to play. Every manager will have a slightly different way, and so I think it's important that the team has an identity, and the more we work together, we can work towards what we feel that should look like. We've had a bit more time to do that this week, and I think that's very important, because you bring in players who, although playing similar styles with their clubs, everybody has a slightly different way of playing, and the more we have an England way of playing, then I think the easier that is for the players to adapt to.
When Eddie Jones, the rugby union coach, came in to take over England, he more or less kept the same squad. He said that all that he really required was for England to find arrogance again and a bit of nastiness on the pitch. Do you think that's something that is applicable to your squad? Has England lost its way as far as confidence is concerned?
We don't like arrogance, do we? We've actually had a conversation last night about the difference between confidence and arrogance, and a comment was made that arrogance is a dangerous route to be, and it's not where we want to be. So But certainly, I think we've got to play with confidence. You know, I think got to believe in the ability of the players that we've got, and be adaptable to every situation that we're put into. So I think that's key to being a successful team, and that will build as they mature together and as they go through matches like tomorrow night's, and all of those experiences will put them in good stead.
And on tomorrow night, and Jordan